All right, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be doing a MCU movie and show tier list ranking. So let's just get into this.
Yeah, our ranking tiers are masterpiece, good, mid, ass, and mega ass. So let's get started with the the first movie that we have is Ant-Man.
I actually liked the first Ant-Man movie. I thought it was kind of a change of pace compared to a lot of the other Marvel movies that came out around the time. So,
Yeah, I think it's more of like a comedy movie, so like
mhm.
it was funny. Like it kind of served its purpose, like introducing the character and all. So I liked it.
I put it in like the bottom tier or like the bottom half of good.
Okay, so we'll put it down here.
And I think you could put the second one with it as well because to me,
Yeah,
those two movies are kind of the same.
they're both really funny. Yeah, they're I think like they serve their purpose basically.
Hmm.
Yeah, so we'll put Ant-Man 1 and 2 in the good, and but we have the monstrosity of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yeah, this might be the first mega ass entry. This was legitimately one of the worst movies I've ever seen in a
Yeah,
movie
we were
theater.
in shambles when we saw this movie in theaters. It was not good.
Yeah, I
Mega
just
ass.
and I think yeah, especially since they were not even continuing the plot from this movie. Like Kang isn't even around anymore. Like, just
Yeah,
put this in mega ass,
yeah.
bro.
This
Don't
movie
watch this
is
movie.
ass.
Never
Okay.
watch that.
Yeah, okay. We're starting off now with we're gonna move this up here. So we're gonna start off with the Avengers movies now. We have the first Avengers movie.
This
Where are we putting this?
I really like this movie. I'm torn between good or masterpiece for this one because I feel like this is one that I go back and watch a lot.
Yeah, this is like something that like I kind of like just like resonate with like growing up. Like this is like one of the first movies I
Hmm.
watched in the MCU, so like it was kind of like interesting to just put it. I
I
really love this movie.
I think I'd put it in the top of good,
Top of
so like
good.
ahead of the Ant
Yeah,
Man
yeah,
movies.
yeah. We'll move it in front of both those. And then yeah, we have the next Avengers movie, Age of Ultron. I personally really do like this movie too.
Really,
I like Ultron as a villain.
I was gonna say this is definitely
Would you
the
put it?
worst Avengers movie in my opinion.
It definitely is the most lacking out of all of them. But I put it in mid,
I'd put it in mid
mid or
as
good.
I do. I like it more than the Ant Man movies. Probably,
I'd put
yeah.
it above
I put
Ant
it
Man.
above the Ant Man movies.
Yeah, I'd put it right behind the
Yeah.
Avengers. And then we have Infinity War.
I mean, these are
These,
Infinity War is going in masterpiece.
uh,
Arguably the best MCU
yeah,
movie.
for sure. Yeah,
Definitely the most memorable. And
yeah.
then
Infinity War is too goaded.
Endgame, I don't think was as good
I'd still
as,
put it in the
but I'd still
masterpiece.
put it in
It's
masterpiece.
just such a legendary movie. I'll
I
put it.
mean, yeah, this is like one of the biggest movies to ever come out,
Yeah,
so it has to go
we'll
with
put
it.
it behind of it, Infinity War. But yeah, and then next up we have the Black Panther movies.
The first
Um,
one was good. I don't. I
I
do think it
really
was.
do like the Black Panther movie, like the first one.
The first one was good. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do. I don't think it's masterpiece though, in my
put
opinion.
it in good. Would
I
you?
would put it above Age of Ultron.
Yeah, okay. That's a reasonable.
I think this was it was a little overrated when it first came out, but I think now it's
Yeah,
properly rated.
Wakanda Forever. I thought like it wasn't a bad movie, but like I,
Compared to some of the newer movies, it's okay,
it's yeah like
but I wouldn't. I
it
put it
wasn't that
in.
great.
I'd put it in mid. I just think
Mid.
not having T'Challa really hurt
Yeah,
this movie, and
yeah.
um,
I'd put yeah. Wakanda Forever wasn't bad, but it wasn't like that great either.
yeah,
Like
I just
most of the movies that came out in that time period
yeah,
were pretty ass, but
yeah. I
this is one
like
of the
the
better ones.
story, but I thought the characters just weren't as interesting,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I put it in mid.
Next up we have Black Widow.
This movie just did not need to exist. I it was this was like the first movie that came out after COVID, and it was not worth the wait, dude. This
I don't think it deserves mega
it's not mega. I put it in ass though.
ass. Yeah,
It's definitely one that I'm probably not gonna watch ever
it's
again.
yeah for sure. Yeah. We have the Captain Americas now. Let's start with the first one.
I like the first one a lot. I know a lot
I
of people
really
say it's
do.
the worst one, and it probably is, but I'd still put it in good.
I'd
I
put
put it above the Ant Man movies. I
above
think.
Ant Man. Oh,
I
yeah,
put it below Ultron, and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I like that.
Captain America: Winter Soldier is one of
This is
my personal favorite movies of all
yeah,
time.
this is a
So
masterpiece.
masterpiece.
I
Yeah.
would put it. Ooh, is it better? I would put it below the Avengers movies though. Very
Okay. Yeah,
masterpiece.
that's fair. That's fair.
Maybe above Endgame if you would have put it above that, but
Um.
I wouldn't put it above Infinity War.
Yeah. Okay. I'd put it maybe I'll put it let's put it after Endgame. After
Okay,
Endgame.
that's fine.
Okay. And then we have the last of the series, Civil War.
I think this one is fun to go back and. I mean, this is basically an Avengers movie. I think it's fun to go back and rewatch this one. I don't think it's held up as well though as Winter Soldier has.
Yeah, it's still good though, right?
It's a good movie.
Yeah,
It's better
yeah,
than the first Captain America for sure.
yeah.
I would put it.
I'd put it above Ant-Man,
I'd put it
at
above Age of
least.
Ultron.
Age of Ultron. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
probably. I would put it above the first Black Panther too, but
Okay.
it's up to you where you would have put it.
Um, I will put it in between Black Panther and Ultron.
Okay.
I really do like this movie. It was one of my favorite Captain America movies. Or just Marvel movies in general. I mean,
Mm.
but yeah. Next we have Captain Marvel. What do you think about this one?
I didn't like this one at all when
I,
I first saw it, but I think in hindsight, compared it to some of the newer movies that came out, it's
it's
definitely
not
not
that
as bad
bad.
as those.
Would you put it in mid at least?
I liked it more than Black Widow. I'd put it probably bottom of mid
Bottom tier
is where
mid.
it's at in my
Okay,
mind.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do that. Next up, Doctor Strange's the first one. What did you think of that first one?
I thought it was okay.
Doctor Strange, the movies haven't been like that strong in my opinion, but they were still like decent movies at least.
Yeah, I would put it. I liked it better than the movies we have in mid now. I liked it better than like Black Panther 2. I
Okay.
don't think I'd put it above maybe the top of mid for the first Doctor Strange.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
It's definitely a forgettable movie from the MCU, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. What did you think about Multiverse of Madness
Hot take. I know a lot of people didn't like this movie, but I actually this was definitely one of the better movies of the
that
newer
year?
phases.
Yeah.
Um, I really like the kind of horror elements, and I know a lot of people were disappointed with like there wasn't crazy cameos, but I think
Yeah.
with all the cameos we get now, I'm tired of them. So I think going looking back at it, I actually really like this movie.
So where would you
I
would
put it in good.
and good?
I put it above the Ant Man movies. I think
Okay.
below
That's
First
solid.
Avenger.
That's solid. I personally, the only issue I really had of this movie was that it was too short. It was
Yeah,
like
it was
it
very
barely
short.
hit the
Yeah,
2 hour mark, which in my opinion wasn't that great.
yeah,
It felt very rushed.
yeah,
Next up we have a TV show. Our first of the TV shows. We have Echo, which is that deaf girl from Hawkeye.
yeah.
It's like kind of forgettable.
Just did not need to be made.
Yeah, I think the only reason they made this show, in my opinion, was just to like have some sort of like plot line before the new Daredevil show, because
Yeah,
Kingpin was in it. So I think
I
that's a
this
it's
is
just
like
like a
this. I think
filler.
this is the
Like
same tier as like the Black Widow movie.
it's just there.
Just
It's just ass.
yeah, just pointless. I'd put it in ass.
I know like Marvel tried to make it like R rated and everything, and I think it was a cool idea, but I think it's just mainly like a prelude to like
Yeah,
the Daredevil show. That's all it is.
yeah,
Um, Next up we have Eternals. I personally, it got a lot of hate. I
yeah.
don't think it was that great of a movie, but it didn't deserve all the hate it did when it came
I think
out.
it was like the lowest. It might still be the lowest rated MCU movie on Rotten Tomatoes, but I don't. It's definitely not the worst
Could be
MCU
the
movie.
Captain Marvel 2 low key.
Oh, probably actually, but I don't know. I think
It was way too long
it was
for
really
one.
long.
It was way too
I
long.
appreciate that they try to do something different though.
Mhm. I
Um,
like the characters and all, but like I don't know.
I
It
doubt
was
we're gonna be seeing any of these guys ever again. To be
yeah.
honest,
I honestly like
I would put it above Black Widow. It was better than Black
it's one of
Widow.
the better ass movies.
I put it top of ass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. Next up, we have another TV show, The Falcon and Winter Soldier. I personally thought it was cool.
I think. Yeah, I think I was
I
really into it when it first came out.
I did not like the villain one bit
I
though.
think for me, a lot of the shows are kind of similar in the sense that they start off really strong and then
Yeah,
the ending is just kind of mid. I mean, the ending was terrible for the show.
I feel like it kind of it was really bad. I feel like most of the shows that came out at that time period were like all kind of rushed. Like
yeah,
like WandaVision, they were supposed to have like an extra episode, so they got rushed.
yeah. I mean,
Like they should
yeah.
not have been 6 episodes for Falcon and Winter
I mean,
Soldier.
yeah. This came out right after the pandemic,
Yeah, so
so
like yeah,
I'd put it in mid though.
mid. Yeah.
I think it's one
Um,
of the better shows.
we'll put it like right after Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
With
I'm
that.
fine with that.
Now we got some strong ones coming here. The Guardians
Yeah,
trilogy.
I think
Oh,
the first one is, in my opinion, for sure. The first
it's
Guardians movie is my favorite MCU movie. I
it's
think
one of my favorite movies as well.
it's definitely going to masterpiece.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
You could
Yeah.
put it
This is.
below Winter Soldier.
I'd put it underneath Winter
Yeah,
Soldier, but undisputed between us, it's a masterpiece.
yeah.
The second one also I did really like.
I don't think it's as good as the first one,
But it's still
but
good.
yeah, it's still really good.
Would you put it above any? Which ones would you
I'd
put
put it
above?
above. I would put it above Black Panther. I think
Okay.
just below the first Avengers
Okay.
movie.
That's strong. Very strong. And then third Guardians
Also
also
very good,
very good. Very
but
good.
I do think the third one is the worst of the
I'd
trilogy, in my opinion.
I'd put it in between Age of Ultron and Captain America: The First Avenger.
I'm good with that. Yeah,
Yeah. Like it's still good, but like
yeah.
it's like in the middle.
It just came out so long after the other two that
It
it was
was
great.
yeah. They brought James Gunn back for that, so it was cool to see that.
Hmm.
I like the
Yeah,
ending.
I think it's definitely the best MCU trilogy, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
for sure. Yeah, if we're doing like trilogy tier list, Guardians would probably be up there.
Hmm.
Next we got the Hawkeye show, like a little Christmas feel, like a
Yeah,
Kate Bishop.
I liked Kate Bishop in this show.
Yeah,
I also liked Hawkeye getting a little bit of character development
I
here.
like the show. It was a solid show.
It was
It was
solid,
it was
yeah.
better out of it was the better like out of compared to most of the other shows. It was much better in my opinion.
I think so. I liked it better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think it was overall better, even though I think
Would
Falcon
you
and the Winter Soldier had
would you put
better
it at
moments.
mid or would you put it at the end of good?
It's up to you, to be honest. I would personally put it in mid,
I would
but
put it like top of mid.
yeah,
Like it's still good, but like I don't think
it's
it's
not
like good
something that I'd
material.
probably want to rewatch
I'd put it
ever.
above Doctor Strange.
Yeah, I'm good with
Yeah.
that.
Next up we have I Am Groot. To be honest, neither of us have
Yeah,
seen
I'm not.
this. So we'll just leave both of those
Yeah,
down there. Yeah, we don't really have anything to say about it. Um, but we have the Iron Man trilogy next. Another
I
very strong trilogy.
I really like these movies, even though a lot
Very
of people.
good,
Well,
very
we'll
good.
get it. The first one. It's going in good. I think
Good. Yeah. Where would you put it?
I would put it. That's
as
tough.
like a like as like a introduction to the character, it was very good in my
I
opinion. I really
I
liked how
think
the
rewatching this one too, it reminds me of like those early,
Marvel movies.
yeah, which I
Yeah.
kind of like compared to some of the newer
Yeah,
MCU
yeah,
stuff.
for
It's
sure.
very grounded,
Mhm.
and kind of dark.
Uh-huh.
I would put it above. I liked it more than the first Captain America.
Okay.
I'd maybe put it below Guardians 3.
Okay. That's solid. That's a solid pick. Iron Man 2.
You know, a lot of
I
people
I
don't like
really
this movie, but I actually really like it.
I do like it. I do like
It's
it.
not as good as the first one, but
In my opinion, I think like this is like a kind of like an underrated movie.
I think these movies, a lot of people don't like the story and like how convoluted and how much stuff they put in these movies. But I think Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man carries these movies. He's probably the best character in the entire franchise. So I would put it in.
I'd put it at the bottom of good maybe.
I liked it
Or
more than the Ant Man movies. I'll say
okay,
that.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
definitely put it above those.
Yeah, okay. I like the villain. I liked Ivan Vanko as a villain. He was kind of
Yeah,
cool. But oh, this is Iron Man 3. This is the wrong one. We'll come back to the Iron Man 3 real quick.
I mean Iron Man 3, in my opinion, is the most underrated MCU movie.
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, it's
I
so
I love
funny.
Iron Man 3.
It's probably the funniest movie in the MCU,
I
and
love Iron Man
it's
3.
so like nobody talks about this movie ever. And I know the ending is kind of stupid, where he's like gives up his suits and then he's back
And yeah,
for Age of
yeah,
Ultron. But
yeah.
I really like. I think this is my favorite of the Iron Man
It's
movies.
my favorite, definitely for sure.
So I think it has to go above the first one.
I'd put it. Would you put it over Age of Ultron? That's the thing.
I think I would honestly.
Okay.
I've definitely gone back and rewatched this one more
I
than Age of
think
Ultron.
personally, I like Captain America: Civil War more, so I'd probably put it
I
right after
I'm
that.
okay with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Next up, we have Loki season 1 and 2, but we're just gonna combine it into just Loki, like in general.
I
So
think this is the best show that they've
the
made.
best Marvel show.
I think easily.
Season 2 was perfection in my opinion. It was just really goaded to see like
And
what they did with
the
Loki.
first season was really good too.
Yeah.
It's one of the only shows I think was continuously strong throughout. Didn't
Yeah.
really have a bad ending like most of the shows do.
Hmm.
I'd put this in at least good.
Good.
Yeah, I put it in good. I
Would you
think
put it above Ant-Man?
I would. I would put it maybe above Multiverse of Madness.
Okay,
Is
that's
what I'm
that's
thinking.
that's solid for a TV show. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
Next up, Moon Knight.
also pretty good.
Moon Knight's my probably my favorite superhero, so it's kind of biased here. I really like the show.
I thought the show was
It
good.
was
Yeah,
it was the only thing is like it was also affected by like the pandemic, of course. So
and I
it
think
was shorter than it
yeah,
should have
it was
been.
short, and I think again the final episode, the ending of the show was
It
kind
was
of
not that great, but
underwhelming.
yeah,
But I
yeah,
really liked the
I loved
beginning
it.
and the
Yeah,
character development that they gave him. I would
hmm
put it maybe the bottom of good
bottom
is
of
what
good.
I'm
I'd put
thinking.
it over Ant Man.
Okay,
I liked it
yeah,
over Ant Man.
I wouldn't put it above the Iron Man movies though.
No, yeah, yeah. Next up, we have Miss Marvel. Personally, I thought the show was not that bad, but I just did not like what they did with
I
her
I
character.
think I mean I'm just not the target audience for a show like
No,
this to be honest, so
no.
it's kind of hard to rate it. I'd
I
put
put it
it
in mid.
yeah, I'm thinking mid as
Mid.
well.
I put it like. Would you put it above Captain Marvel?
I would not.
I put it
No.
behind. Yeah,
Yeah.
bottom tier mid. Next up, we have some words about this show here. Secret Invasion. When I first saw this show, like when I first saw like when it was coming out, like when they announced it, I was super excited for this. I
Yeah.
cannot even lie. It was marketed as like a really dark, like R-rated type like
Hmm.
Marvel show with like Captain America Winter Soldier vibes. When the show came out, man, it was
Yeah,
ass.
I honestly,
Ass.
in my head canon, the show doesn't exist. I really hated what they did with this show and like with Rhodey. I I was really excited because I love Nick Fury. He's one of my favorite characters.
Uh-huh.
But I mean,
Oh my
man,
goodness.
this might be the worst.
One of the worst projects.
Is it worse? I think it's worse than Ant-Man 3.
Oh, for sure, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's definitely bottom of Mega Ass for now.
Yeah. This is like rock bottom right here.
Yeah.
Um yeah, we did not like this.
Hmm.
Next up, Shang-Chi.
I liked this when it
I
first came
really did
out.
like it.
I did honestly kind of forgettable. Don't really
Uh-huh.
think about this one too much,
I really
but
liked Simu Liu as the actor.
yeah,
The story was good. I liked the story. It was completely like original.
yeah. I think this was like a good standalone movie.
Mhm.
Um,
I'd put it in good, like
I'd put it bottom of.
near the bottom of good.
Is it better than the Ant Man movies? I would
I'd say
say
it's better than Ant-Man and the Wasp.
okay. I'm I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I personally, yeah. Oh, wrong tier. Next up we have She-Hulk. To be honest, neither of us really cared much for this
No, I
show.
watched it.
I watched it for Daredevil, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I yeah. I think I appreciate that they tried to do something different with this show, but
Uh
it
huh.
just did not work. It was just not funny, and
Would you would you put an ass?
I put it in ass.
It's not mega ass
I
worthy,
put it
but
above Echo because at least this one was watchable
yeah.
and like it was like cringy and that kind of made it funny.
Uh huh.
So
Yeah. It was crazy to see that Hulk had a son. Like that
yeah,
was like the crazy plot twist or some shit. But yeah. Yeah, it was forgettable. Next up we have the Spider-Man trilogy. Start off with the
I
Homecoming.
really like
I
Homecoming.
loved Homecoming.
I think this is honestly this is a out of the three Spider-Man movies here. This is the one I watch the most because it's such a good
It's
like
a
Spider-Man story. I feel
For
like
sure, for sure. I'd put it in good.
I put it in good. Yeah,
But where
I would put it.
would you put it?
It's I would put it in the top half somewhere.
Would you put it above Ultron? Age of
I
Ultron.
would, yeah. I'd put it above.
Iron Man 3.
I think I would. I honestly, I'd put it above.
I'd put it behind Black Panther.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I really like this movie. It was really cool just to
Hmm.
see like Zendaya as MJ and then like Tom Holland Spider Man.
Yeah, I love Tom Holland as Spider-Man.
The next movie,
Far From Home, in my opinion, is
it's also solid. It's
it's
okay.
definitely the worst of the three,
Yeah,
in
for
my
sure.
opinion. And I think I really liked this one when it came out,
Hmm
but I think looking back on it, I think
It's
it's
not.
kind of the it didn't really add too much to the character, in my opinion. I
Yeah,
think the plot twist at the end was really good and setting up No Way Home, but
yeah. It was cool to see him kind of like build into like himself just being Spider Man instead of relying on like Iron Man and
mhm.
like just kind of moving on from Tony's death.
But I
But
think, in my opinion, this movie kind of feels a little pointless because they kind of did the same plot arc in No Way Home.
yeah,
So, like, in my opinion, I think it's still good, but I think it's bottom half of good.
okay. Where would you like put it
I
around?
would put it probably.
I'd put it like Loki's. I think would be still be better. So
I'd
I'd
put
put
it
it
maybe
like
below
Doctor
Loki
Strange.
then. Yeah.
Yeah, above Doctor Strange. Next up, we have probably my favorite. Like, actually, I don't know. I like No Homecoming, but Far From or No Way Home was probably a lot of people's favorite movie.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was just a legendary movie when it came out.
Yeah.
Absolute vibes in the theater when we saw this. Um,
A lot of people say this one you can't rewatch it, but I don't
I
necessarily
really,
agree with that.
I really do like this
It's
movie.
definitely not as good on the rewatch, but I really like the arc and the development that they gave him. Um, and the ending was just phenomenal for this
Yeah,
movie.
it was a beautiful movie. I really love that they brought back Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield for it, and all the villains.
I don't think it's a masterpiece though.
It's a little bit short, but I would
I
put
would
it
put
above.
I might put it above the first Avengers movie, like
Yeah,
the best movie to go.
it's the best out of the good movies. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I like that. Next up we have Guardians of the Galaxy, the Christmas special.
yeah. I mean, this was
This was
fun.
good. This was good.
Yeah, I mean,
It was a
kind of.
fun Christmas.
Yeah, I think just throw this in good.
Just started some good. Just we'll put it like near like the end of good, just because
Yeah,
like
maybe just put it at the
it's
bottom.
just good. Yeah. We have the Incredible Hulk now.
Honestly, not terrible. I don't think
Not
this movie is
terrible.
terrible. It's definitely probably the
It's
most pointless and like forgettable MCU movie.
uh-huh.
But I actually really like Edward Norton as Bruce Banner. I
Okay.
think maybe better than Mark Ruffalo in my opinion. Hot take, but
Interesting take.
um, I think this movie's again. This kind of reminds me of the first Iron Man movie, where it's kind of like an old school superhero movie where it's dark and kind of real. It tries to be realistic, which I kind of like compared to some of the newer stuff.
Yeah.
I
I
would
think
put
it
it
is
in mid.
yeah, mid.
I would put it in mid.
Would you put it above like Captain Marvel or like
I would
Miss
put it
Marvel?
above Captain Marvel for
Just
sure. Probably below the
yeah.
second Black Panther.
Interesting. Next up we have another very controversial movie, The Marvels.
This is
This is
it's definitely
it's a
going in the
mega
bottom
ass.
two.
It's for
Okay.
sure mega ass.
I don't think it's as bad as I think it's better than the third Ant Man.
It's better.
It's
Okay.
it's
Okay.
close, but
Yeah, there
it's
I
definitely
mean
not
to
as
be
it's
honest,
not as bad as Secret Invasion. It's not
yeah,
the
to be
worst.
honest, mega ass is just like the rock bottom. So like
Yeah.
honestly, like we don't really care about these. I just did not like this movie at all. It was too short.
Mm-hmm.
The villain was very forgettable. Like who was the villain?
Fuck
Yeah,
knows.
yeah, yeah. We don't even really know. Like
The
his
characters just weren't. I don't care about any of the characters from the show
yeah
or this movie. Like
um yeah. There's not really much more to say about it. It's just ass. Next up we have Thor, like the original Thor.
this is I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the Thor movies, to be honest.
Yeah, okay.
I think the first one's okay.
It's good.
I think
It's okay.
I put it in maybe
Maybe mid.
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 Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'd put it like maybe above Doctor Strange. Behind Doctor Strange? Where is it?
I'd put it behind Doctor Strange.
Behind
I
Doctor
think.
Strange? Okay. It's a solid movie. I like it as like a like the introduction to the character,
Hmm.
I guess. It was cool.
It's just weird seeing watching that movie because Thor is such a different character now than he was back then. Like
Yeah.
his first movie.
His character development is crazy, like over the course of his movies.
Hmm.
So moving on to his next movie, The Dark World. It was
For a long time, this was considered the worst Marvel movie, but I don't think it is
there's some
anymore.
more.
I think I'd put it in ass. I don't think
Ass.
it's not as bad as the ones at Mega.
It's kind of like a boring movie to watch, in my opinion.
I'd put it probably bottom of ass.
Yeah, bottom of ass.
It's
I put it
very
above
boring.
Echo.
Okay.
Above She-Hulk too. What do you think?
I don't know. I think
She-Hulk?
I'd rather watch She-Hulk because it's at least kind
It's
of funny.
comedy.
Yeah.
It's comedy. Okay. Next up, Thor Ragnarok.
This
Probably
is
the
good.
best one out of the four.
Yeah.
It'd be. Would you put it in good?
I put it in good for sure. Yeah.
I think it'd be higher, like highest, like one of the highest ones in good.
Okay.
I really do like this movie.
Is it better than the
I'd put it above Black Panther.
Really?
Or actually, I really do like Black Panther.
For me, I think I'd put it below Homecoming, just right
Below Homecoming?
between Homecoming and
That's
Civil
good.
War.
That's good. This was like a really fun. It was like a perfect blend of like comedy,
Yeah.
action, and like actually like it moved the story along.
Yeah, it's a very important movie in the MCU.
Yeah, and the character development for Thor was pretty good. Thor and Loki.
And Hulk.
Yeah, and Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, we have arguably one of the worst Marvel movies. I in many people's opinions.
This kind of
Thor.
yeah. I mean, this was just so. I don't think it's the worst, but I think it's the most disappointing because I really thought this was gonna be good.
Yeah, they brought Christian Bale in, and we thought that he'd be like a crazy villain and all, but like I just did not like him. And
Yeah,
like Christian Bale was good for like the scenes he was in, but the character itself wasn't that great.
and I feel like the jokes in this movie just did not work
It was
very well.
it was more focused on comedy. Like I think like they tried to like push it off of like all the success from
Hmm.
Ragnarok, but it was too much of that
I agree. Yeah,
than it should have been.
I would put it in. I'd probably put it top of ass.
Top of ass.
Yeah, I'd put it
Yeah.
above the Eternals.
Okay. That's a solid pick. Next up we have WandaVision. What did you think of that?
I actually liked WandaVision a lot, especially when it first came out. I was really into it. The ending wasn't great, but again, I think you could chalk that up to COVID a lot too.
Yeah.
I think compared to most, it's definitely one of the better shows. I
It's
think
for sure one
overall.
of the better shows. I really liked it. Would
Um,
you put it in good? I'd say bottom half of good. Like it'd be after
yeah, I
Loki.
liked it more than Hawkeye for sure. Yeah, I'd probably bottom of good.
Would you put it above Ant-Man and the Wasp?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So I'd put it like yeah, put it about like the back. Next up we have like it was one of the this is very interesting. It was the werewolf like the short film that they like released
Hmm.
during Halloween. It was cool. I liked it. I liked what
Hmm.
they like the idea of this. I hope they do more of these in the future, like some sort of like spin-offs for like characters.
Yeah,
Um, it was good.
yeah. I mean, I don't really have much to say about this one. I think
I think it's just would you put it in
kind of like
mid?
the Guardians holiday special.
It's
Probably
just
put
like
it
yeah,
with
just
that.
put it at the bottom of good. It was
Yeah.
good because they released it in black and white at first, which was a cool like idea,
Hmm.
and then they of course released it in color after. But yeah, it was a cool show or cool like movie.
Yeah.
Next up, we have What If, season 1 through 3. We're just gonna combine them all into seasons 1 through 3. What did you think of What If? It was a cool concept
It
when
was
they
a good
first announced
concept,
it.
but they didn't give us like the episodes anyone wanted. I feel like none of
I
the.
really, yeah, I agree.
I'd put it in ass.
Ass. Okay. Would you put it in like top of ass,
Yeah.
above Eternals?
Yeah, I think I put it above
Okay.
Eternals.
Next up, Agatha All Along.
Just pointless. Like who
No,
asked for
no
the
one
show,
really asked for
bro?
this, to be honest. I don't know, like a Halloween themed show, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I put it in.
Ass.
Yeah,
We'll just put it like after She-Hulk.
yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. And then lastly, our final movie is Deadpool and Wolverine.
I really like this movie. I think it's
I
definitely my
love this
favorite of
movie.
the Deadpool
Oh
movies.
yeah,
Very funny.
very
Got
cool.
some good character moments in here too.
Yeah. Um,
I think it definitely goes in good
it's
somewhere.
good. Would you where would you put it in good?
Probably like somewhere in the middle of good. I don't think it was like a
Would you
crazy
put it
great
above
movie.
Iron Man?
I would put it above the first Iron Man. I would
Okay.
probably put it.
Age of Ultron above?
Yeah, I like that. I think
Post
it's.
Iron Man 3?
I'd
Yeah.
put it below Iron Man 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like that
Yeah.
placing. Okay.
I yeah, our yeah, that's a good spot. Deadpool and Wolverine was a pretty good movie.
Hmm.
But yeah, those are basically our character our movie rankings.
Honestly, we didn't have most of them were in the good, which makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
A lot of the newer stuff is at the bottom, but
Which yeah, you can chalk it up to Marvel, but yeah, the Mega Ass is honestly we could have just put like another tier in between Ass and Mega Ass and just like have that blank because Mega Ass is so bad.
yeah, I think there's a big drop off between the bottom of ass and mega ass. Like
Yeah, like those three projects are just not good.
yeah, genuinely like awful. Ass is like bad, but mega ass is like genuinely some of the worst stuff I've ever seen.
Yeah, like I don't know how like who approved that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Masterpiece worthy though. We have 4 movies.
I think that's fair. I think those are definitely the 4 best
Marvel
Marvel
movies.
movies.
I really do like those. I like what we did on
I
that.
think honestly, I would put Endgame bottom of masterpiece. I think
Really,
I
really
like Winter Soldier and Guardians more than Endgame.
interesting. Yeah, we'll move it down. But yeah, I think yeah, these are our Marvel movie and show tier rankings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.